Good morning, friends. It is Monday, April 27th, and I hope you had an awesome weekend. I got something in the mail. Oh yeah, Slytherin Quidditch. Now, I know that most of you did not listen to the Harry Potter that I read you, but for those of you that did, you know that Slytherin is it's kind of the house for, the kids who are maybe a little like naughty-ish, I guess, sneaky, not always the nicest kids. Well, guess what? I'm a Slytherin. I used to not admit it, but I think by now it's probably pretty obvious, so I'm just going to start embracing it. So I have a good story for you today, and it's it's probably not the start of my being a Slytherin, but it definitely made me super happy, which is probably a little clue that I was a Slytherin even back then. So, when I was in 7th grade, my mom and dad signed me up for Kung Fu lessons, and I liked them for a little while, but I don't like fighting with people, and I get a little scared, like in fights, so I would go most of the time, but then for a while I was sneaking out and going to the payphone to call my best friend, and we would talk on the phone the whole time I was supposed to be in class, which is not the funny part of the story. But I did learn a lot about Kung Fu, and I got a little bit tougher. So from my stories last week, I said how I had a hard time kind of sticking up for myself a little bit. But so there was this one time, though, that I accidentally stuck up for myself, and it had like such a funny ending. So I'm going to tell you that story today. So most of you know that Wes Long is like one of my heroes because he stuck up for me in junior high, and I will never ever forget it. He was like, and still is like, one of my heroes. I think he's one of the kindest, bravest, most amazing people ever, and I feel so lucky that I got to grow up with a guy like him living down the road from me because he was just the best. But he had a friend that I was a little scared of, and I'm not going to tell his name if I can not accidentally say it, because that always happens, but he was a little bit of a bully, and I was definitely really afraid of this other kid that was his friend, which is weird because Wes was like super kind and like really nice and always looking out for people, but his friend was sort of a bully, and I was very afraid of him. But he was also super tough, so that's another reason I was afraid of him. So anyway, one time we were down in Wes's basement. We were playing pool. He had a pool table in his basement, and this kid who was kind of the bully, he started like teasing me, and he's like, so you think you're really tough? You think you're really tough? And I was like, no, not at all. Obviously, like, hello, look at me. and I was so skinny, like when I was younger, that my nickname was Chicken Legs, which is so embarrassing, but I had really long legs, and I was very, very skinny. And so no, I didn't think I was tough at all, and I sure didn't act tough. But he kept saying, so you think you're so tough? You think you're so tough? You take Kung Fu? I heard you took Kung Fu. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, so you think you can kick this head off my head? And so he had this baseball cap on. This is my new baseball cap that I got. So he's like, and he goes, so you think you're so tough, huh? You think you could kick this hat off my head? You think you can? And I was like, I don't know. And he goes, well, try it. And I was like, I don't want to. He's like, come on, try it, you wimp. Come on, try it. So I did try it, and I really was trying to just kick the brim, to like knock the hat off his head. But I accidentally kicked him right in the forehead super hard and like knocked him out flat, like bam, on the floor. OMG, friends. I thought I was basically going to die, but it was pretty terrifying. But he like laughed it off. He thought it was kind of funny, and he never bothered me again. So I guess it worked. I don't know. So anyway, so yeah, I thought that was really great, actually. I went home feeling kind of like tough and a little bit, a little bit more Slytherin-ish, I guess. I felt cooler, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that's kind of a story about probably where my Slytherin stuff began. I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, I hope you have a really good Monday. I will not be on the meeting at 11. I have another meeting, but I will be on tomorrow. And yeah, you could maybe you could write about something that you do, some kind of sport that you do. That would be fun to listen to. I never did sports because I was terrible at sports. I was a really fast runner, which is good because I was always running away from things. But like I was really bad at sports. Like in gym, I almost always got picked almost last. Like I was horrible. Like I'm scared of kickball because I'm scared of getting hit by the ball. I'm scared of soccer because I'm scared of getting kicked. I'm scared of softball because what if that ball hits me in the face? I'm scared of everything. I hate getting hurt. And so I just was not good at sports and I didn't like them, but I was a super fast runner. So that was the only sport I was good at. So, you could write about a sport that you play that you're good at. I was also really good at climbing trees. That was my other sport. If that had been like a sport, I would have been like a gold medalist in tree climbing. I was the best. Like people in our neighborhood would come to me when they wanted something carved into the tree, like way up high. And I would just shimmy up there like a little monkey and like carve whatever with my Swiss Army knife. And I was amazing. I was a great tree climber. But unfortunately, guess what? They don't give medals for that. And that's not an actual sport. So I just wasn't good at sports, but if you are, I would love to hear about it. I was kind of good at Kung Fu, good enough to knock that kid's hat off and his head practically too. So, I mean, I guess I had some skills. So, all right, well, have an awesome Monday. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Monday.